everybody? JT Dangerously once again. I am back for my Week 9 college football predictions. Now, Week 8 is in the books, and now we're into Week 9 of the college football season. Now, our record, finishing up Week 8 last week, we garnered our best record so far in college football predictions this season. We went 9-1. So our overall record coming into this Week 9 is 59-21. To say Week 8 was our best week is no joke. We only had one loss, and it was ironically the Fresno State game against San Diego State. So how much of ironic was that as a guy who lives in Fresno, and I picked against them and they won. So we're on an 8-week winning streak. Hopefully in this video I will make it 9 straight weeks. Now, before I begin, I do want to thank you guys so very much for watching all the videos up until this point, especially last week's college football predictions. We had nearly 300 views on that video. You guys super kicked that like button 4 times, and you guys representing your team and your picks in 35 comments. So again, thank you guys so very much for watching all of the videos last week, especially my Week 8 college football predictions this week. And hopefully in this video, you will show your support by watching the video, super kicking that like button, and representing your team and representing your college football teams and your college football predictions in the comments section below. Now, we are at 200 plus subscribers on the channel, so I do want to thank you guys so very much for supporting the channel. To new subscribers, thank you guys for super kicking that subscribe button, and welcome to the Dangerous Line. It's absolutely great to have you guys here. And to my longtime subscribers, thank you guys for sticking around, supporting the channel, and as always, killing it. Now, this is your first time watching my channel as a first-time viewer, and this is your first video. Boy, you picked a good one if you're a college football fan like myself. Welcome to the Dangerous Lions. I am JT Dangerously, and welcome to the club, because this club is just two. Whoop, whoop. Again, thank you guys so very much. Other than that, let's get right into these Week 9 college football predictions. Now, before I begin, I want to give a quick shout out to a very talented college football predictor on YouTube that has been killing it every week in his predictions, College Football Dojo. If you have not checked this channel out, definitely go check it out. I'll have his channel in the description box down below, because this kid is pretty damn good in predicting college football. He knows his stuff as much as I do. So again, shout out to College Football Dojo, and continue to do your thing. Now let's start off with the first matchup. It is a It's a Big 12 battle featuring the number 11th ranked Oklahoma State Cowboys heading to Morgantown to face the number 22 ranked West Virginia Mountaineers. Now, the Oklahoma State Cowboys are coming off a very tough win against the Texas Longhorns in overtime. Did not expect that from Oklahoma State against Texas of all teams, but they got it done. Mason Rudolph did not have one of those big games he usually does, and Mike Gundy always doing his thing. Then on the other side, you have the number 22 ranked West Virginia Mountaineers coming in 5-2. Coming from me, I think this is definitely a trap game. This whole week, Week 9, is going to be a lot of trap games for high-ranking teams, and I think this is the first. So coming from me in this Big 12 battle, you know what? It's Week 9. I'm going to go with the upset here. I'm going to start off the first pick with my first upset. I'm going to go with the number 22 ranked West Virginia Mountaineers to defeat the number 11th ranked Oklahoma City Cowboys. And now the next matchup, which will be where College Game Day will be at this week. It is a Big 10 battle featuring the number 2 ranked Penn State Nittany Lions heading to Columbus to face the number 6 ranked Ohio State Buckeyes. Now, this is the 33rd meeting between Penn State and the Ohio State Buckeyes, with the Buckeyes leading the series 17-14. Now, Penn State won the last meeting, of course, that great match last year, and Ohio State's looking to win in this series for the first time in 2 years. Now, starting off with Penn State, they're coming off a monster blowout of Michigan on Saturday Night Football. They looked so well, they looked so good, and they showed off. They are the second best team in college football right now. Saquon Barkley had another monster game. Trevor McSorley had a great game, and this Penn State team is looking hot, and now this is a huge matchup in the Big Ten Conference. Penn State did beat Michigan, but can they beat Ohio State in Columbus? Then on the other side, you have the Ohio State Buckeyes are coming off a bye, so they're coming in fresh. They're looking to continue their dominance in the Big Ten Conference. They're looking to knock off a Big Ten competitor in Penn State, try to get them back into the college football playoff, which they were before the Oklahoma loss. And Urban Meyer, JT Barrett's they're going to look to pull off a huge top 5 upset. So coming from me in this Big Ten rivalry, man, this one's really tough. This one's a really good matchup. So coming from me, I'm going to take the number 2 ranked Penn State Nittany Lions to defeat the number 6 ranked Ohio State Buckeyes. We are Penn State. And now the next matchup, an SEC East rivalry battle featuring the number 3 ranked Georgia Bulldogs heading to the Swamp to face the Florida Gators. Now this is the 102nd meeting between the Gators and the Bulldogs, with the Georgia Bulldogs leading the series 50, 43, and 2. Now the Gators have won the last 3 meetings against Georgia, and Georgia's looking to win in this series for the first time in 4 years. Now, starting off with the number 3 ranked Georgia Bulldogs, they are ridiculously impressive. Both teams are coming off byes. Georgia with, of course, Jake Fromm from State Farm and Nick Chubb. This Georgia team is coming from me, the front runner to win the SEC East and go on to face the Alabama Crimson Tide in the SEC Championship this year. I think Georgia is top notch this year. Then on the other side of the Florida Gators are coming in 3-3, and they're coming in on a 2-game losing streak. Of course, their last loss was 2 weeks ago against Texas A&M. They just did not look good. They even introduced their new Swamp uniforms, and they still lost the game 17-13. So they're coming in a little sluggish, two-game losing streak, and they're looking to knock off Georgia Bulldogs once again. So coming from me in this SEC East rivalry matchup, ooh, man, this one's tough because Florida at home, the Swamp, and Florida has Georgia's number for 4 years. Ah, man, this one's going to be a good SEC battle coming from me. I'm going to take the number 3 ranked Georgia Bulldogs to defeat the Florida Gators. And now the next matchup, another ranked battle featuring the number 14th ranked NC State Wolfpack heading to South Bend to face the now number 9 ranked Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Now the NC State's coming in 6-1. Of course, their big win was against Florida State on the road. This NC State team is really good out of the ACC Atlantic and one of those top teams that could win the Atlantic Division because of Florida State being struggling so far in Tallahassee and Clemson getting shocked by Syracuse a few weeks ago. So NC State is in the driver's seat right now in the ACC Atlantic. Then on the other side, you have the number 9th ranked Notre Dame Fighting Irish, who got a huge win on Saturday over USC. They blew them out, and that's what I was waiting for in Notre Dame. They get a big win against a very top team like USC. Again, Brian Kelly, I do not like him as a coach, but he's doing a good job here. He's only lost 1 game, and that was the 1-point loss to Georgia, but he got a huge marquee win on Saturday against USC. So coming from me in this really good matchup between the 14 against the 9, oh, man, they're both 6-1, so this one's going to be a really, really tough one. So coming from me, I'm going to take the number 9th ranked Notre Dame Fighting Irish to defeat the number 14th ranked the North Carolina State Wolfpack. But don't be surprised NC State gives them a fight. And now the next matchup, a Big 12 battle featuring the number 4th ranked TCU Horned Frogs heading to Ames, Iowa to face the number 25th ranked Iowa State Cyclones. Now the TCU Horned Frogs are coming off a huge shutout win over a very lowly Kansas team. Kenny, don't call him Trill, Hill, had another great game, got a shutout, and they're definitely the best team right now in the Big 12 conference, other than Oklahoma or Oklahoma State. TCU is right now at the top of the Big 12, and they're looking to stay that way and get to the Big 12 championship. Then on the other side, you have the number 25th ranked Iowa State Cyclones, who are coming off a huge win against Texas Tech at home. Ken, this is another one of those trap games you got to look out for TCU, because Iowa State is very much surprising a lot of people in Iowa. I mean, coming off 5-2. I don't think anybody expected Iowa State to be this good this season. They're a win away from bowl eligibility, but this season has been great for Iowa State. I mean, they beat my Oklahoma Sooners, and I'm a man to admit that they beat us, and they also beat Texas Tech. So this could be a huge win for Iowa State if they can knock off the number 4th ranked TCU Horned Frogs. So coming from me in this Big 12 big-time matchup, again, this is a trap game coming from me for TCU, so TCU, look out. So coming from me, oh, man, this one's really tough. I'm going to take the number 4th ranked TCU Horned Frogs to defeat the Iowa State Cyclones in a close matchup. And now the next matchup, it is a Big Ten battle featuring the number 16th ranked Michigan State Spartans heading to Northwestern to face the Northwestern Wildcats. Now, the Michigan State's coming in 6-1, number ranked 16th in the top 25. Of course, being in the Big Ten East with teams like Penn State, Ohio State, rival Michigan, who they defeated a few weeks ago for the Paul Bunyan Trophy, and Maryland and Indiana. But they did have a big-time win against Indiana last week. Then on the other side, you have the Northwestern Wildcats, are coming off a very not-so-great win against Iowa in overtime. Made a few mistakes in that game, but again, it's Northwestern. They're not really... They are a good team, but they did not play a great game against Iowa in overtime. They just got lucky on fourth down mistakes. So coming from me in this Big Ten battle, I'm going to take the number 16th ranked Michigan State Spartans to defeat the Northwestern Wildcats. And now the next matchup, an American Athletic Conference matchup featuring the Houston Cougars heading to South Florida to face the the number 17th ranked, South Florida Bulls. Now the Houston Cougars are coming off a very tough loss to Memphis on Friday night. They had a 17-point lead, but they blew it, and Memphis just ran right over them in a 42-38, I think it was a 42-35 victory, but Houston's coming in 4-3, so they're looking to get back on track in this matchup. Then on the other side, you have the South Florida Bulls. First time I'm talking about them this year, of course, being in the American Athletic East Conference with teams like East Carolina, Cincinnati, Temple, UConn, South Florida, and Central Florida. And that's going to be the one game to watch at the last game of the season between Central Florida and South Florida. Now, I know their coach, Charlie Strong, the former Texas Longhorns, of course, they're coming in 7-0. One of those teams that are looking to get one of those big New Year's Six bowls, and they are really hot right now. So coming from me in this American Athletic Conference matchup, I'm going to take the South Florida Bulls to defeat the Houston Cougars. And now the next matchup, and this one's going to be this one is definitely a random matchup. It is in the it's a Conference USA matchup featuring the Florida Atlantic Owls heading to Western Kentucky to face the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. Now, this is my first time talking about the Florida Atlantic Owls. The only thing I know about them is that Lane Kiffin coaches there, and a few players from the Netflix series Last Chance U went there as well. Now, with teams in the Conference USA like Marshall, Middle Tennessee, Charlotte, and Old Dominion, this is a very random matchup. I didn't even expect this matchup. But the only thing I know about Florida Atlantic is that Lane Kiffin is coaching there, and he's done a pretty solid job at Florida Atlantic. Then on the other side, you have the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers, who I have no idea about them. They're coming in 5-2. The one thing, if I remember this right, that the Western Kentucky Hilltopper Stadium, the turf is red. It's like Boise State Smurf turf, but it's like Kool-Aid red. I don't know if that's true, if that's Western Kentucky or another team, but I always remember Western Kentucky having a red field. So coming from me in this Conference USA matchup, man, to say I don't know a lot about these teams is definitely an understatement. So I'm going to take, just because Lane Kiffin coaches there, I'm going to take the Florida Atlantic Owls at 4-3 to defeat the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. And now the next matchup, it is an ACC battle rivalry featuring the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets heading to Death Valley to face the number 7th ranked Clemson Tigers. Now this is the 82nd meeting between Clemson and Georgia Tech, with Georgia Tech leading the all-time series 50-29-2. Now, Clemson has won the last 2 meetings against Georgia Tech in this rivalry, and Georgia Tech is looking to win for the first time in 3 years. Now, starting off with Georgia Tech coming in 4-2, they're coming off a very big win against Wake Forest last week. Paul Johnson and his triple option definitely proved Wake Forest too much for the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. So they're trying to come in looking to end their 3-year losing streak against Clemson. Then on the other side, you have the number 7th ranked Clemson Tigers, who are coming off that embarrassing loss to Syracuse on Thursday a few weeks ago in Week 6. I think it was Week 6 or Week 7. I think it was Week 7. Week 7 was that upset filled week. But they're coming in after that huge embarrassing loss to the Syracuse Orangemen. They're coming in ranked number 7th. I don't know if they're going to have their quarterback after that game against Syracuse. He got hurt with a concussion, so we don't know if he's going to be playing. Dabo Swinney is looking to get back on track after that huge, embarrassing loss in Week 7. So coming from me in this ACC rivalry matchup, oh man, this one's really tough. I'm going to take the Clemson Tigers, the number 7th ranked Clemson Tigers, to defeat the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. And now the final matchup of Week 9. It is a Pac-12 battle featuring the number 21st ranked USC Trojans heading to Arizona to face the Arizona State Sun Devils. Now, USC is coming off an embarrassing loss on Saturday over USC. They just did not look good, and it's not even nearly. It's getting close to seeing USC or any Pac-12 team make it to the college football playoff this year. Sam Darnold did not look good in that game. I mean, they just got ran over by Notre Dame, and I'm surprised they're even ranked this week at 21. I thought somebody would be a little bit better than that to knock off the Trojans, but they're looking to get back on track. And then you have the Arizona State Sun Devils, who first time I'm going to be talking about them. Todd Graham, coach of the Sun Devils, is he's fighting for his job for sure in Arizona State. I mean, they've got big wins against Stanford. And Washington, so he definitely looks like he's going to be keeping his job, but this is definitely another trap game for USC because Arizona State's defense is really good. I mean, anybody who can knock off Washington with just a touchdown and a few field goals, look out for them, and knocking off Stanford, maybe the top team in the Pac-12 North right now other than Washington or Washington State. So coming from me in this final matchup of Week 9, man, this one's going to be tough. This one's going to be another one of those close games. So coming from me, I am taking the number 21st ranked USC Trojans to defeat the Arizona State Sun Devils by a close margin. And those are my Week 9 college football predictions. I hope you guys enjoyed these Week 9 college football predictions this week. Comment below, who do you have winning all these matchups? Of course, represent your team in the comment section below. We saw some Volunteers fans last week, Iowa State Hawkeyes fans, Miami Hurricanes fans, Texas Longhorns fans, and West Virginia Mountaineers fans. So, as always, represent your team in the comment section below. And if you want to put your predictions up in the comment section, by any means, do that. Let's have a conversation about it. Of course, I'm always on to see your comment, thumbs up, and of course, reply right back to you because comments are absolutely always welcome on this channel. And I do want to thank you guys so very much for watching. Of course, before you go, you can never forget to do this. That like button, comment, share with your friends. Of course, super kick that like button like only you guys can. Of course, you can never forget to do this as well. That subscribe button, become part of this bigger and dangerous lines. And I will see you guys later tonight for my Week 8 NFL predictions. Later days and peace.